Hey guys, Dave here from Easy Country Cooking and Cooking Chair. Well, today my cousin Lynn is here right up from the city, and she is going to show us how to make a sour cream coffee cake, and there's nothing nicer than a sour cream coffee cake. You ready, Lynn?
I am ready.
Let's get started. Okay, Lynn, help us here. What do we do first?
So when I make the coffee cake, it actually comes in two parts. You make the crumble that goes in the middle and on the top first. And I cheat a little bit and I melt the butter up and then I make it and then I sit it in the fridge and I let it get all crumbly and cold. And that helps make it more enjoyable.
How much butter do we have?
So we have a half a cup or 8 tablespoons of butter in here. Salted or unsalted works just fine. So now we're going to add 2/3 of a cup of brown sugar, dark or light.
And that's packed.
And it's packed. And then we need 3/4 of a cup of flour.
3/4 of a cup of
Flour.
Okay, so in we go with 3/4 of a cup of flour. I'll put that in.
Thank you. And while you're at it, Dave, do you think you could get me 2.5 teaspoons of cinnamon?
Coming right up.
Awesome.
That's a teaspoon.
Yep. And it's cinnamon, so
Cinnamon, it doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter. Whatever your heart tells you, put in there.
So in with 1, 2, that's pretty close.
Yep, and a half.
Half
So that's
teaspoons of cinnamon.
so then the goal is to mix it up really good, but it's going to be crumbly and lumpy.
I was going to say you want that crumble in there, right?
Yep. Yep.
And you could use cold butter too. If you want.
You could use cold butter. It's all up to you, and use a pastry cutter to mix everything together.
Oh yeah.
The old pastry cutter, I've done that before, and I have to say, I much prefer this method.
You don't like the pastry cutter?
I don't like the pastry cutter,
All right.
but I'm not a pastry chef, so. And then this goes into the fridge,
For how long?
as long as it takes us to make the cake.
Okay. I'll grab that up and into the fridge we go. Okay, Lynn, what's next?
So next we mix up our dry ingredients, and then we mix up our wet ingredients, and then we put them all together to make the cake.
Okay. So before the dry ingredients, Lynn's here now, and so is my cousin Shirley, and they're up from Kincardine. And we've done a few other videos together, and one is on an awesome crack slaw, or crack coleslaw, and it is an absolutely fantastic recipe, simple and easy, and I'll put a link below in the description section. And we also, many moons ago, did a lentil soup that was absolutely incredible with Shirley. Well, we were in Kincardine. Also put a link below in the description section to that recipe. So go back and check out those recipes, and you'll simply love them.
Okay, so now we're going to start, Dave, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Can you give me 1.25 cups of all-purpose flour? We're just going to put it into this great big measuring cup.
So in with 1 cup, and let's say 1/3 of all-purpose flour.
That's right. And then I need a teaspoon, which I will pass to you, of baking powder.
Okay, a teaspoon of baking powder.
And then a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, which is this one.
Okay. Now we'll grab up the baking soda, and in we go with a 1/4 teaspoon on the old measuring device here.
And then the other one we want is a 1/4 teaspoon of salt.
A 1/4 teaspoon, in my guesstimation, is basically a crack or a pinch, right?
Whatever works.
Whatever works.
Yes.
So we're going to mix up those dry ingredients, right?
So now we're going to start with the mixer. Stuff over here, mixing some of the wet ingredients together first. We're going to mix the eggs, the butter, and the sugar first. Get them all blended well. Add a few more things, and then we add
The dry ingredients.
all last. Okay.
Okay.
So let's start. So what we need is, I'm going to pour in, and this is about 1/2 cup of room temperature butter. So I melt it previously, and the reason you want it room temperature is so that you don't destroy the eggs. But we first start with butter and sugar and mix that up, Dave.
All right.
Mix that up till it's smooth.
Till smooth? Okay.
Yep.
So maybe 2 or something on the mixer. How's that looking?
That looks good to me.
All right, let's kill the mixer.
Okay, and lift that up. Now the next thing we put in is 2 eggs at room temperature. I am not a great egg cracker,
Oh,
so
okay.
I like to crack them into the bowl first.
Just crack them.
Yep, just crack them. And if your eggs are cold, just let them sit in lukewarm water for about five minutes. Okay, David,
Eggs.
please blend away with the eggs.
Here we go again.
Yes, sir. So our next 2 things are, we're going to add the vanilla and the sour cream.
Okay.
So vanilla, in the olden days, when my mom was teaching us
Back in the day.
how to bake, this is how we measured vanilla.
Oh, with the cap. Yeah.
The cap.
I remember that.
Yeah. So
So how much is this again?
it says 2 teaspoons, which that was probably more than that, but that's
Two
okay.
caps.
2 caps. And with that, I need a half a cup of sour cream.
All right, let's measure that out.
And it has to be full fat sour cream, not light. So this is not a diet,
No diet stuff.
no diet stuff. So half a cup.
So I'm going to scoop up half a cup, basically, of sour cream. That's pretty close right there, I guess. Spoon and measure this off. Okay, Lynn, so when do we go with the sour cream?
Can we go with the sour cream? Now you might need, how's that coming out for you?
Okay.
You might need a scooper.
Okay, I'm just going to wave my hands here, Lynn.
Well, I find that this is kind of a fun and messy recipe. I never get out of this without stuff all over my hands.
And there's nothing better than fun in recipes like this, yeah.
Okay, so now we have to mix the sour cream and the vanilla in.
All right.
And don't panic if it's lumpy, because it's supposed to be lumpy.
Okay.
That looks good, Dad.
That's good. That's
Yep.
lumpy, but that's good use.
Yep. Now, I just pour all the dry ingredients in after they've been whisked together. Hold on, a little bit stuck in the bottom.
Gotta get that bottom bit.
Yep, there. Now just do a slow,
Slow, you said.
slow.
So the number 2 on the old mixer.
Number 2 on the old mixer.
Now, can they do this by hand?
You can do this by hand. You can use a hand mixer.
It's a little more muscle.
Yeah, whatever works. Okay.
Well, that's looking good.
Yep. And that's pretty much done, except, sorry, I forgot. This is where you add now the 2 tablespoons of milk.
Okay.
So, do you have a shot glass? Like a 30 ml shot glass makes life easy. If not, don't worry about it. Here we go.
Yeah.
2 tablespoons of milk. Dave, do you want to do this? You seem to be on a better side than I am.
Okay, so we want 2 tablespoons of milk.
Yep. And it can be any kind of milk. It
Does
can
that-
be non-dairy milk. It can be anything that says it has a milk factor to it.
All right.
And then we just mix it on slow. Love this mixer,
I
dude.
know it's nice.
Okay. And that is it. The cake is mixed. And now all we have to do is scrape the stuff off and
Whatever, easy breezy.
yeah, like it little bit, the complicated part comes a little bit now.
Yeah. An 8-year-old could make this. Well, a little.
They could if they wanted to.
Okay, well, here's a question for you, Lynn. It's called coffee cake. What do we put the coffee in?
Well, actually, coffee cake is not made with coffee. It's made to eat with coffee. It's got the sweetness that counteracts the coffee taste. And I'm not a coffee person, but I have had more people say it doesn't taste like coffee.
Right.
Because everybody seems to think coffee cake tastes
You
like
gotta
coffee.
have
Yep.
coffee in it, but because you drink it with coffee. So if I had a lasagna and I drank it with tea, I could say it's a tea lasagna.
Yeah, you could.
There you go.
Anything you want. All right. So now we'll take this off here.
Yeah. Still looking good though, guys.
Yeah. This is where the little bit of the tricky part comes in. Yep. You only use, and Dave, can you pull out the,
Oh, the stuff
crumble.
in the fridge, yeah.
yeah. You only use half of the batter at this time. And then that's where the tricky part comes in. Okay, that looks
That's
good.
enough?
Yep.
Good.
Now, I don't know if you want to try this, Dave, for
Smooth it?
smoothing it out and making it even all across the bottom.
Pretty smooth guy. I can do that. Smooth this out. It's a little bit sticky, isn't it?
It is, and this is where kind of like the tricky part comes in.
Yeah, you got to kind of finesse it and take your time.
Yeah, and if you want to use the spatula, it might be easier for you.
Here's a good idea.
Yeah, here's a good idea.
Boy, somebody's thinking here.
Oh, we try.
That's coming. That's better, Lynn.
Yeah.
What do they say that great minds think alike and fools seldom differ? Something like whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or two heads are better than one?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. That is perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Good enough?
Yep. Hold on here. Throw your spatula and your spoon in here for now.
Spatulas.
Okay. So now your next step is to take half of this. You got to, now that it's cooled, you got to give it a little stir to crumble it up again.
Yeah.
And then you take half of that and put in there.
So half of my crumble.
Half of your crumble.
Kind of eyeballing half.
Yep. Have your crumble.
Just throw it over top.
Throw it over top. Yep.
Throw. Well,
yeah, you're throwing. You're doing a good throwing. Whoop.
There we go.
There we go. And now do the same. And you might want to use your hands because it could be easier, and spread it evenly around.
Get down and
dirty. Don't get too aggressive mixing it in there because you want it to be layered.
See, guys, I learned something new every day.
Yep.
And this is coffee cake, no coffee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, and then your next step, that's fine. That's perfect.
That's good.
Yep.
Okay.
Your next step is, where did we put the rest of the batter? And this is where it's a little hard again, because you got to put the rest of the batter on top and spread it around.
Okay, so I was talking about lasagna tea, and I mentioned lasagna. This is kind of like making a lasagna.
Yeah, it's a layered issue.
No. Boy, this is going to be good. It's fun to make.
Yep, it's fun to make. And again, you just spread it around the best you can.
You're making me do all the work.
Yeah, I am. But you're doing a fabulous job. And then when you have it to the way you like it, then you put the rest on top. Now we just add the rest of the crumble to the top and make sure it's crumbly and evenly spread out, just like you did there. Go ahead.
Now here's the question. Well, I could have done this with my hands.
Yes, you could have. You could do it with your hands. You could do it with whatever works, really.
Want a
screwdriver,
shovel, backhoe.
Yep.
Anything like that. Maybe I'll use my hands and kind of spread it out a bit like that. Eh?
Yep.
Okay, now should I do a better job than this?
Nope. You have done it perfectly. So now it is ready to go in the oven.
Yep. Easy.
Yep. It goes in the oven at 350 for, I think it's about 40 minutes, 35 minutes, somewhere in there. I usually set for 35 and do the toothpick test. But just to note, I baked in glass dishes before, and I goofed up. When you're baking in a glass dish, and this is a really nice heavy glass dish, you turn your oven up about 20 or 25 degrees from what the recipe says.
So it can be 20 degrees off or under.
Yeah. Okay. So with glass, if you're using your normal tin or whatever, use the 350. But we've got the oven set here. I think it's to 375. Okay. And in it goes.
All right. So guys, into the oven at 375. Or 35 or 40 minutes. Okay, Lynn, after 40 minutes, we has done it. It smells so good. Oh, wow. Coffee cake.
Oh, one of my faves.
Yeah, I guess so. Just look at it. I mean, it's got that rustic, but ever so good. And if you could just smell it.
There is, if you wanted to, you can make like a drizzle icing recipe.
Oh, yeah. That would be nice to drizzle something over the top.
Yeah. Wow. But I find that the cake is sweet enough. Yeah. So I don't do that, but you can do it with ice cream. You can add whipped cream to it.
True.
Or you can just have your coffee, your cake beside it.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, we is done, and we're just about ready for the taste test. Okay, guys, we just let this set for a few minutes. It's kind of cooled off a little bit. really nice on top, and it smells so good. So let's cut into it. Want to do the honors, Lynn?
I'd love to.
All right. Look at that. Eh?
Not too bad. Okay, Dave, let's give you a taste.
Just a piece out and have a look and see. Just look at this, guys. Wow.
Can you pass me a plate, Ethan?
Yep.
And it is
Into a plate.
still warm. There you go. I'll get you a fork.
Oh, this looks so good. You ready, Lynn?
I'm ahead of you, Dave.
Yeah. This is delicious.
Mm-hmm.
It's moist. I just love that crumbly effect to it.
Yep.
Absolutely great. Thank you, Lynn, for sharing this with us. It was great.
Very happy to share it.
Guys, this is absolutely incredible. You got to make this up. Actually, I'm digging and talking here at the same time. So go ahead and make this up. Leave us a comment. We love to read them. Let us know what it's like. Like and subscribe because the likes really help us out, helps the channel out. And thank you, Lynn, again for coming and sharing with us. Of course, I'm going to have more coffee cake. It is so good.
Yes.